Today we are doing a book for Father's Day. Aren't you excited? It's almost Father's Day, and our book today is called Wise Guys. Wise Guys is by Kent Evans with Rob Suggs, and it's about unlocking the hidden wisdom from the men around you. So Kent shares several personal stories from many different men who made huge impressions in his life. Of course, he doesn't share all the men who made an impression in his life, but he shares some of the most profound experiences that have shaped him into the man he is today. The book is written from a Christian perspective, and it gives us insight into what male mentorship can do for a man. And I really liked how Kent shared personal stories from many different types of people. And he allows us to kind of get a chance to see what he was going through in his life. So the book starts when Kent shares that his mom and his dad were getting a divorce and how it really impacted his life. He was in high school, and as a result of his parents' divorce, he needed to go to counseling. He shares that the counselor told him something that was very memorable. He went into the counseling session not wanting to be like his dad. He had seen that experience as a failure and he resented it. So the counselor told him, don't try to be an unsomething. I kind of had to take a step back and kind of really understand what that meant. The counselor was telling him, don't live your life trying to not be something. Find out what you want to be in life and strive towards that goal. That really resonated with me because it's easy to point out different faults in other people. It's easy to see, oh, I don't like that. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to do that. We tend to pick up the negative as humans. Some of us do, at least. We tend to pick up the negative and just brace ourselves and say, oh, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. Or, we build a barrier and a wall against that negative thing. But the counselor was saying, you gotta take a different approach. And you gotta change your attitude. So that's the same for us. We have to take a different approach and not just look at the experiences that have shaped our past negatively. We have to look and see, wait a minute, what are some goals that I have? What are some character traits that I would like to possess? What are some of the things that I see from other people that really matter to me and things I may want to emulate in my own life? And that's what he's done. I'm not looking for what I don't want to be. I am looking for what I want to be. And that really just opens the door for change. So he just shares experience after experience on how things may not have been going well in his life, and all of a sudden he would face an experience and an encounter with a male who would really help guide him into the man he eventually became. So what I liked was he was transparent and he was open about his life experiences. He's a family man, he's a father, a husband, a good worker, an entrepreneur, a Christian. So there are many different parts of his personality, his life, the man he has become that men will be able to relate to. Now, his stories are not earth-shattering. He didn't really have some experiences that you would say, oh my gosh, wow, that really happened. So sometimes when we're reading or we're interested in a topic, we're really looking for those wow moments. His experiences aren't necessarily the wow moments, but they're moments that many of us can relate to. And so I thought that that part of the book would be very relatable for men. I also like that he talks a lot in a conversational tone. So the book isn't like, so I'm wise and this is what happened to me and you should follow my instruction, follow my lead. So it's not like that. It's like sitting down with someone and just simply having a conversation with him. He's like, it reminds me of a grandfather who you're out in the country, maybe you're sitting by him and you're fishing, and he's just telling you stories about his life. That's what Wise Guys reminds me of. It reminds me of a grandfather sharing his life experiences with one of his grandchildren. So I took that sort of view as I read the book. Like, I got to know Kent through his stories. So I really like that. One of the quotes that really stood out to me was, it says, "But take heart," this is on page 81, "but take heart. That enemy is destined to failure because there's a powerful force at work here. Allow me to walk through this briefly. You've been given grace by your Heavenly Father. So you give that grace to someone else. When you do, guess what happens? If you didn't already know, you'd never guess. This part is awesome. Here it is. He gives you more grace." Now, what I loved about that part of the book was we all need grace. We all need a little compassion to deal with other people. You know, sometimes we go in a store and we may deal with a cashier who is having a bad day and they're rude to us. We may be driving down the road and someone throws a birdie and you're like, what is wrong with that person? Or they won't let us in and you're like, what is going on? You know, we can look at that situation, we can look at that person and say, you know, and be rude back. But he's saying give that person grace. So be understanding. Take a moment and put yourself in their shoes and just be compassionate to them. And I felt like his book shared a lot of compassionate moments where he may have messed up. He may have done something and he needed grace. He needed compassion. And that's the same that many men need, men and women. But many men definitely, you know, they take the role of the head of the household and they have so much writing on their families and their experiences that sometimes they may not get downtime to have grace. And so I love how Kent reminds us that grace is needed. So if you have a chance this Father's Day to pick up the book Wise Guys by Kent Evans, is definitely a short read, an easy read. There are even questions at the end of each chapter, and he just kind of allows men to have an experience with other men through his life. So again, I definitely recommend it. Give this a try and check it out. I definitely will be sharing it with my husband, so I hope he enjoys it. All right, again, this is a Cleverly Changing review. Visit cleverlychanging.com to read the full review. Thank you and have a great day.